We don't get snow every year, we can get snow full stop. Where are we? Oh. Yeah. The group.
Hey everyone.
Hey, hello everybody. Right. Just finishing.
Hello.
Right. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, share anywhere. Share anywhere. Put it anywhere. I don't care. Give it to anybody. Anybody can take us.
Share away.
Who just said, "Oh my god," on time? All it says is Facebook user. Which cheeky sod said that?
Oh, we got this again. We had this last week.
Who said, "Oh my god"? On time?
Right. Show yourself.
Actually, we are 2 minutes late. So, holly.
Doesn't say.
We're fashionably late.
Fashion.
Yes.
I like that. Fashionably late.
Oh, it was our friend Eric.
I figured as much.
Bugger.
Okay.
Oh dear. So, and as you can see,
Yeah, I think they made a spelling mistake on that.
hang on. Oh, it doesn't show up properly.
Yeah.
Just say ONAIR.
Yeah, I think it's a spelling mistake.
Go on.
It's supposed to say NOHAIR.
Everybody close your ears a minute. You're a fuckwit. Bastard. How can you tell me?
It's all right. I'm catching up. Don't worry.
Oh, nah, mine's proper shiny. Proper shiny. Just wait until Josh does. Till he starts getting a little tiny bald spot there and that starts going back up in and I go.
He's got plenty down here to transfer it.
Yeah.
Growing the toupee.
That's when it starts coming out your ears. You have to worry about it.
I got rid of that.
Idea who this is?
My feeling guy in Josh.
That's Rita. Hey, Rita.
Oh, hi, Rita. You're
Hey,
right.
Rita.
Hey, everybody. Thank you very much. And of course, I have my gorgeous missus here who got me that this on-air light as well. We'll just talk about the on-air light. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, you bend over in front of me like that again. Go on. Oh, you minx!
Stop talking to ghosts like that.
I won't talk to ghosts like that again. I'm sorry, dear. Right. What's been occurring then? What have we been up to? Well, young Josh, he's getting a motorbike at some point. We have been
Some point. He's going to get me in trouble.
Bob, are you going out, mate? Bob's coming. Wayne has been doing his nutting with government stuff, and where hopefully you guys are going to come up here. And Eric's missus says hi, Rita, to Rachel.
I'm going to get a shed.
Cool. A she shed.
He's going to get a shed because he's read 50 Shades of Grey, and what he's going to do, because of his writing, he's going to turn it into 50 Sheds of Grey. And then from what I've heard from Ellen, he's going to turn it into 50 Sheds of Gay. I don't know what that means, but hey, you know.
Is it a shed or is it a garage?
Is it a shed or a garage? Is that like a pergola and a pagoda? I made a pagoda! No, you didn't. Yeah, he's having a shed. He's doing a conversion, aren't you? You're converting the garage into a bedroom.
Yeah. So everything in the garage has got to disappear. So we've decided to get a shed. So put it all in.
You're turning. What are you converting your garage into?
We're turning our garage into a bedroom
Oh, okay.
because it's all joined to the house. So we're just shifting everything over so that everybody in the house has got more room. And I've got an area where I can go, where I can continue my writing and all my work without being disturbed. Rita says, "Hi, Ellen."
Hi.
50 cents. He walked
And
across the
notice it wasn't it wasn't my voice that said that. That was Ellen.
Hi. Hi.
You can imagine that, can't you? Typing away, he stepped across the floor. He suddenly started groaning in pain and pleasure, all mixed together. And then his wife said, "Your foot's on the plug." Be things like that, wouldn't it?
No.
So, how's everybody out there in TV watching land? Everybody that's watching us now. I see that our figures are when we go out on air. We have like our regulars that join us, and then in a couple of hours' time, it's like it'll be 200 views, and then by the end of the week, it's gone right up like that, and it's aliens. He vanished. The reason I haven't put my alien backdrop up is because I can't remember when I put it. When we made this bed, I moved it somewhere, and I can't remember where the bloody hell I put it. So it will be back up as soon as I can finish. As soon as I can finish it, as soon as I can find it. And then at some point, once Abby and Dan have moved out into their own place, that's Rachel's daughter.
Hi, Lou.
Little bedroom. Hi, Lou. We're turning the little bedroom into like a where we put all our collections on display and display room and stuff, and then I'm going to do the radio show from there, and the backdrop will be up all the time. So yeah. So to crack on with this week's show, there actually hasn't been a lot going on too much going in the world of UFOs and what do they call? They don't call them aliens now. What do they? What do they call
UAPs and alternative beings.
Alternative? Is it? No, it's not alternative beings because I can't be asked with those sort of people. Anybody that has a pronoun, no. Those what do they call them? Extraterrestrial intelligence, non-human intelligence. That's it. Non-human intelligence.
So why don't they just make it easier and just say ETs?
Because then somebody will go, "Oh, they got an extra testicle."
Where's the bureaucracy in that? You gotta have like 30 different names.
It's absolute bollocks, isn't it? Because until we know which planet they come from, we can't turn around and say because we don't know where they come from.
Yeah.
You know, that's like
I mean,
to a shop that you're in, talking in a different language. You don't recognize the language. You don't know what country they're from, and you go, "Where are you from?" And then they go, "Oh, hello, I'm from Turkey." And you go, "Ah, Turkish." You know, like the aliens coming down to see us. We don't know where they're from. So we can only call them like aliens or extraterrestrials or something like that until they go, "Oh, actually, old boy, actually, I'm from the Pleiades system and I'm from the planet of 6. So that's where we're from. Oh, the 6s are here." So yeah, you know. I've had my tablets. I'm okay. So, yeah, what I thought we could talk about this week, and it all ties nicely into a previous show. Now, we were talking about the things that have been found in Antarctica, the pyramid that's now come to light in Alaska, isn't it? Just off Alaska.
Yeah.
Alaska, and that's quite an interesting thing. And then I think this all coincides and ties in nicely to. Do you remember when we did the show on out of place anomalies, out of place artifacts?
Yep.
I think out of place artifacts ties in nicely with all this stuff because remember, us, the human race, we're only supposed to be a few thousand years old, and yet all this stuff that's being found is thousands and thousands of years old, way before we were even an itch in our daddy's pants, you know. And then all these out of place anomalies that are thousands, if not millions of years old. It just shows you it. I think it corroborates all the you guys are a bunch of whack jobs. I read that so wrong. I thought that said something else other than whack, and I thought, how dare you? How very dare you? You guys are a bunch of wank jobs. How can you say that? But it wasn't wank jobs, so I'll let you know. Yeah. So I think. You know that there's look at Josh, he's going marks on one today. You know, we have a reset every few thousand years, and you know there's legends of precursors to us humans, and then you got the legends of the Anunnaki and all that sort of stuff. When you look back at all the stuff that we found and we've talked about, things being 1.5, 2, 3 million years old, I think it all proves all these things that are being found from different timelines. They're all part of previous cultures, previous civilizations before there was before us. What do you reckon?
Well, I mean, there's definitely something in it simply because no one knows the honest truth behind how things like the pyramids were made.
Yeah.
They're only coming up with theories on how, but
Yeah.
there has been no definitive answer as to how they were built.
Yeah.
So
I-
they're all saying, oh, the most likely answer is this. And then obviously the latest theory is frequency waves.
Well, don't even think about it. So one of the cats is creeping towards that upstairs loo. Do not think about it. No, I'm trapped in a smallish bedroom. No. If I start gagging, you know why. The things that have been found recently, there was I've been reading reports over the last few years of this pyramid that was found in Alaska. I sent it to the thing to these guys, and they're now turning around and saying that they've looked into it and they found more. They found it properly with GPR, ground penetrating radar, and they think that it's what was it? It's not blocking our consciousness, but it's
Suppressing.
Yeah, it was suppressing it.
Yeah, oppressing our consciousness so that we're not aware of half the shit that's going on. You know, like the old thing that we're part of a computer program, that sort of thing. So we're not aware that. I don't know if we're in a computer program or not, but if we are, like, it's very good graphics because I can feel myself. You know, so but this thing's blocking our consciousness for some reason. Now, I know there's been Black Ops moves going on there. I've read a few reports on Black Ops things that have been going on there. And the weird thing, this Black Pyramid, when you go in, it's got the same tech and the same massive big stone doors and moving doors and things that's in the not South Pole, the what do you call it?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Fuck me gently with a spoon. What's it called?
Antarctica?
Antarctica. You know the city it's found in Antarctica?
That one.
Yeah? Josh?
Yeah.
Are you with
Yeah.
us, Josh? Are you there?
Yes.
No?
You're the one that didn't know Antarctica, man.
The city that is supposedly found in Antarctica.
Yeah.
Because there has, again, it's all been what other people have said and word of mouth through social media and social media hype that could be making it something that it's not.
Oh.
I've got NWA, don't believe the hype going from my head now.
I mean, it literally could be the fact that all the nations that are doing their own scientific research down there have all clubbed together and built a place that is as big as a city, and the word has been mixed and merged and changed and everything else, and someone else has got word of it on the street, and they've just gone and flopped it all about social media. You know, nobody's actually come forward on the news and said there is an underground city in Antarctica.
That's the thing that, again, we've spoken about in our shows, because Josh knows with all the research and the rabbit holes you go down, especially with this stuff, because I know you've researched a lot of that, and you, Josh, you do go down things, and it's not put out there on the media. It is blocks. There's been several news stations and media outlets.
Yeah.
Several. I gotta put that out there. Hang on a minute.
Again,
Several
though,
media outlets and news stations.
Who is Facebook user?
That is Catherine Murphy.
Catherine Murphy.
That have had the things and have gone to put it out there on mainstream news, and they've all been blocked by the government and told, "Don't you dare."
So could that be what this pyramid in Alaska is all about? Could it be a centre where all these people that are responsible for putting fake videos out with real videos, misinformation, blocking information from coming out into the mainstream? Could that
If there's
be
nothing
what
there,
is
why
going
would
on
they have to build something like that? Why would they? I mean, why keep it secret from every nation though, or build something like that? Because there's clearly something going on in Antarctica. I mean, there's and the whole Admiral Byrd stories. I don't know.
Yeah,
Too
but
much going on.
clandestine operations have been going on throughout history. But you don't want to make it public that that's what you're doing. That's why a lot of it was all done undercover.
Well, the thing
You
is,
don't want to make it too obvious.
the thing is, even you've got the new South Pole Weather Research Center that was put there, and it's got this weird type of radar that looks way out. Have you seen there's a whistleblower who was a contractor there, and he's come out and he signed an affidavit, and he said it is a radar, but it's a type of radar that has lots and lots and lots of radar domelets that can be used, and it can be used as a weapon that can down craft, and it's actually used. He said itself. It can be used to down craft, and he said that it's got a weird landing base there for vehicles. He said he's never seen any of the vehicles. What he does with his family silverware was between him and OnlyFans. Shh, I need the money. You never saw me voice. So yeah, he said that this radar that they say is used for looking at traffic in the stratosphere and in the near space to Earth. But he confirmed that it can be all beamed together and focused, used as a focus beam to bring down craft. And he said it's not what they said it was. So all these things that are going on, they all know about it. And I swear, all these new things that are being found, the pyramids. There's one in Bermuda, underneath everything. I think there's a city down there as well. And the things like the Bimini Road and all that sort of stuff, the place just off Japan. I think this all stems from way back before the biblical flood, which was that dirty great big tsunami that effed and jeffed everybody.
The thing is, with satellites creating a high focused beam to down aircraft, that's nothing new. Look at the British MOD's Dragonfire.
Yeah, it's not satellite; it's ones on the ground, and then like the Dragonfire,
like Dragonfire,
focus it together, go. Pew! But
they only do
non-terrestrial aircraft. It's only extraterrestrial aircraft. You can always tell extraterrestrial or extraterrestrial aircraft because if you look when it takes off, you've got this big round desk with like two round things dangling on the bottom. So yeah.
So I mean, to be honest, I can't see why they wouldn't have something like that in there. I mean, we know for a fact that there's stuff going on under Denver Airport, but we don't know exactly what. All we can do is say, well, it's possible something's under there. They could have clandestine operations under there where there could be thousands of people being employed by the governments of the world to put out false information or to slowly drip feed information.
Yeah.
And that could the one in Alaska could have just been the precursor to that.
I definitely think there's lots and lots more underneath the ice shelves and underneath the permafrost and things that are now gradually unfreezing that they're going to let on. There's lots of stuff going on. We know they've got till, is it 2027? So they've got 3 years left to come out with whatever the rubbish they're going to come out with and say that the aliens are real. And I'm sorry to call them aliens, but that's what they are until we know where the hell you come from. But, there's all this stuff going on. And it's like what we were talking about earlier. Now, I want to get Wayne and Josh both involved in this because, Josh is very quiet at the moment, and he's like one of the children. When he's quiet, he's up to something. So you've got to keep him on. Lou Elizondo and Don DeLong.
Tom DeLong.
All that lot. What do you make of all this?
Well, in your opinion, I mean, I like Tom DeLong. I think his research is cool. But how much stock do you put into Johnny Rotten when you put something out?
I'm the same as I am with Tyler and Security in 10. When he first came out, I used to watch all his videos, and he was he was sat on the fence. He's like, this is that video, this is what it is. It could be this, it could be that. But I've noticed now that since he had whatever his event was, where he had a meltdown and went, and since he's come back and the government have been involved, he's very almost like, I don't want to poo-poo him, but it's almost like he's being paid or told what to say, And I sometimes get the feeling when I'm watching Don DeLong or Lou Elizondo, because again, I used to listen to them, and some of the stuff that they come out with was very, very good. But they've had that change. Do you know what I mean? When people that you watch and you're like, wow, and then they have that change, and then the rhetoric seems scripted, and
I mean, how much can we trust anybody that works with the DoD when it comes to this subject? When they have
That's it.
shown time and time and time again that they're going to lie to us. They're going to lie to us. Oh, they openly admitted to lying to us. But we're supposed to believe them now. Now this year got pushed back. This got pushed back. They don't want to answer this question. But, they just shot something down that's a UFO. We're not going to talk about it or discuss it. So,
The thing is, these governments of the world are not going to be taken seriously if they keep backtracking on things.
Exactly.
And it's just not going to work for them.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, there's so many things. If you don't use mainstream searching, if you use different search engines, because if you use like Google and Yahoo, and
you're not going to get anything.
Yeah, you have to use the different ones. Use DuckDuckGo, that's a good one, or use Tor, that's a good one. But just be bloody careful what you find in Tor. Excuse me, but like now, I've just tried to type something into DuckDuckGo, and it's tried to give me sites that I really don't want to go on.
Yeah.
I mean, I've already lost one hand through chronic masturbation, but I don't want to lose two. All right. So what I'm going to do is just type in, because somebody said on there, and it's not come up in the chat, no one talks about the Star Wars program. That was the one that Reagan did in the 80s, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The thing is, we have spoken about the Star Wars program a few shows ago, didn't we? Remember? Because that's how the Space Force started. The Space Force actually did start late 80s, early to mid
same time.
Yeah, it's not a new thing, and they're like, oh well, Space Force it is real, but we haven't got anything up in the air.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
The Star Force program was a part of the Star Wars program, but when Congress poo-pooed the idea, when they said no to, we'll cancel the program, they only cancelled the laser satellite side of it. They didn't actually cancel the Star Force side of it. So that continued, and the satellite ones supposedly didn't. But yeah, I beg to differ.
Here's a little story that I don't know if a lot of people know. Do you know how the Star Wars program came about? Why Reagan did it?
Freaking out about the Russians.
Well, the story that was put out there, the rhetoric was to take out any missiles that were sent by the Russians or enemies of the state. And it wasn't. There's an interview that Reagan did, and in the interview he states that him and Nancy were on a plane, private plane. I can't remember where they're going from, but they were buzzed by a UFO, and they both went up to the windows, and all the other people that were on the craft, because it was his presidential plane, and they all, but one of the small ones, not the big Air Force one, and they were all looking out the windows, and they saw this UFO, and it was following them, and it just kept buzzing the plane. And it wasn't just once, but it was twice he had an encounter. And he said, because of the way they can just go whoa, and do that, he wanted to start up some sort of defense thing, not offensive, just defensive, just in case. But he couldn't turn around and say, yeah, we got little green men, we were Buzz, and he had to put it under a different thing. So he came out with the Star Wars program, and that's how the Space Force started. And we've got ships up there. We've got apparently ships that are capable of interstellar travel. And we've had them there for quite a while, and we have help from other planets, other civilizations. But I think most of us know this. Although all our bobblements go, no, it's not real. Bollocks! They've got 3 years to come out with the truth before it's.
I mean, there's that whole thing too that the Cold War was a big cover up, that the Soviets and us were literally building up our space forces, and that's literally where the funds were going. It wasn't this threat of bombing each other. It was this smoke and mirrors for that.
I don't think at the end of the day any government is going to use a nuke on another country, because at the end of the day they know damn well if they do that, there's no winners. There'll never be any winners in a nuclear war. All they'll do is kill off the human race and every other animal and leave this barren wasteland that nobody can live on. So
I said this the other day on the Spooky Japan podcast. We were talking about the Fukushima nuclear power plant, and we were saying that the nuclear energy is a great source of energy.
The what
Sorry?
power plant? The what power plant?
Fukushima.
Do you kiss your mama with that mouth?
And obviously we were saying about how nuclear energy is a great source of energy, but the problem was it was weaponized.
Yeah,
and no one is going to win a nuclear war. There is no winners.
No, there isn't.
So-
There never will be.
No.
They can say all they like about nuclear energy, but the problem is the safety aspect of nuclear energy. If anything goes wrong, you've got ecological problems for countless amounts of years. But
I mean,
you can also weaponize a power station,
Yeah, you can.
and it's a big no-no. You can't do it. And that's why nuclear energy shouldn't really be allowed.
There's the trouble is like, again, we've spoken about it before. The Bobberments have had a reason we say Bobberments for you new viewers is because when we use the proper word, every time we said the proper word with the letter G in the front of it, we've had all our comments stopped. We've had to stop the show and we've had to redo it again. I think one of the times we did it was like 3 times, wasn't it? And they just
Yeah, it was 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, they kept disconnecting all the comments, so none of you could join in. So we have to say Bobberments now, because then that way it doesn't do too much damage. But yeah, the all this stuff that's going on. No matter what have we got? We've got hydrogen power and we've got nuclear power. But when you go down all the rabbit holes, that's something that Josh and I like to do, and I think Wayne goes down rabbit holes occasionally.
I do try to.
Yeah,
I mean, what are you going to choose though? I mean, I'm in a state where we're utilizing wind power, and all the local village that these power or windmills are in are having like major psychological effects.
well,
The
what do you think
Germans
about
did a study. The Germans did a study on windmills and discovered that windmills are actually non-beneficial to the power network or the environment. They're a waste of money, so they sold them all to us. We were stupid enough to pay something like. I think we were stupid enough to pay £1.6 billion for all these wind farms to be taken up from these German fields and stuck in the North Sea, and made us believe that they were going to give us cheap electricity. Yeah, really? Everybody else is reducing their energy bills, and ours are going up.
The thing is, and again, we spoke about it before, and we were, electric cars that I say, oh, Boymans. Well, yes, it is Boymans. Then we expected it to go, well, wait, these are stupid, rich, hate the entire human race, and we sell our own mothers for a chocolate bar. They're perfect for leading us. You're exactly right. Look at what we had. We had Rishi Sunak, and wow, we've got this picking idiot that's in charge now, Keir.
I'd rather Sunak than Starmer.
Yeah. At the end of the day, just in my little rant about Bobberments, we try not to mention it too much. We had the Conservative Bobberment over here that screwed our country, raped us, shoved us up the arse, took everything, stripped everything, took everything away from the people that needed it the most, and put it in their own bloody pockets. Then we had the energy giants who suddenly had there was a meeting. We reported about it about 3 years ago. The energy giants and the heads of Bobberments who have shares and are high up in the energy giants had a meeting years ago where they said, one day we're going to hike everything up. We're going to hike the costs of all the energy up, all the fuel, everything, gas, petrol, the whole lot. And then we're going to try flogging electric cars. And we'll do that as the green alternative, because when we flog the electric cars, people will go, oh my God, we must get that. It's so much cheaper than fuel. And then they'll start buying our electric off us. And we'll already gradually start creeping the electric prices up. Win, 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 gentlemen. And it's known. It was a secret meeting.
Well,
it's known. It happened.
Come to mention that, I got some information today that I found quite interesting, and it's going to absolutely devastate the electricity firms.
Go on.
Toyota have just brought out their new design for their hydrogen motor,
It's about time, because I'd use a hydrogen.
and that is going to cause a lot of problems for these electric firms.
Because they can't do bugger all about it. Going to put some water in. Wait and see. The water prices go.
Yeah, but you can't charge for water that comes out the air. And you can de-ionize water quite easily. You can sanitize water quite easily without even touching the water from your taps.
Yeah.
So
I can already tell that they're going to need some freedom. So that will be settled.
I mean, I've already stuffed the electricity companies up here in my house. I've got solar panels on my roof. So when everybody around here's got power cuts, we're still making cups of tea and coffee for people. So, you know, they can jog on because I'm generating my own electric. And I'm hoping at one point I'll stop using gas and go fully electric.
Mate, the amount of gas that comes out of your ass, you could run the entire UK.
Yeah, I don't get paid for it though. I'll give it away for free.
It's like we said, and Josh and you guys over in America, you're being screwed as well. We talk about it very often, and we have to. I get really irate about the way the governments are, because they're all just lining their own bloody pockets, and they're all arseholes, and they're just all out for money. Like the pension age, raising the pension age for everybody else, taking the fuel payments away from pensioners, and then they lower the pension age for themselves and give themselves big payouts. Well, fuck you, you know.
The funny thing was on that, they took off that payment for the pensioners, which totaled 1.4 billion.
Yeah.
And have a guess at how much the increase of foreign aid was.
Would it be 1.4 billion by any chance?
It would be 1.4 billion.
That's a surprise.
So they've given it away, taken it away from our pensioners and given it to a different country.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
This is going to be controversial, and I'm sure Josh will agree with me on this. And Wayne, stop. Just close off the borders. Let everybody bugger off to their own countries, because we have been bringing in lots of people who shouldn't be here, like rapists and murderers and stuff. And it's the same, not just with our countries, but with all countries all around the world. Stop it. Close the borders. Fuck them off out of it. Let them fight it out. Do what they want. Think about your own people for a while. Think about your own homeless, your own poor, starving families, your own kids in dire need of care, your own ex-services who really need help, who've got mental health.
There was
about them first,
someone that did the math on all of that, and they said that over the last 20 months, or maybe 2 months, 2 years even, the amount of money that the British taxpayer has paid out on helping these people, which Mr. Starmer helped claim the benefits from, we would have been able to house every single homeless person in the UK with their own home or flat that they would own outright. And that would be every homeless person off the streets of the UK.
I go
regularly wasted
to different army bases because I'm, what do you call it over there? National Guard. I'm in the TA over here. I'm an SI sergeant instructor. First guy with this, and I do that, and I do cadets and everything. But I digress. We go to various different places, and half these military bases, half of it is disused, because you've got buildings with like asbestos and stuff in, and this, that, and the other. And I see so many buildings not used, this, that, and the other. Look at Rudloe Manor and all, one building used. We know what goes on underneath that building. We know there's a massive complex underneath that building. The government won't admit it. Bobberman won't admit it. But there is a massive hush-hush complex underneath Rudloe Manor. Again, that's full of all these ancient old buildings. Purbright Camp, Aldershot Camp, everywhere has all these massive amount of buildings, which if you did them up, open them up, let the homeless have a room, have a little self-contained flat in each one of them, you get rid of all the homeless, they'd have their own self-respect back, they'd have a place they could stay, a place that it's up to them to look after, and it would do them the world of good. And remember the people who fought for the country, fought for your country, and then you screw them and fuck them off out of it. No, give them somewhere to stay, give them some mental health. And all these other people who come in on floating doors and things like that, I agree. Yeah, some of them come from really bad places. I'm ever so sorry it's like that. But why should we foot the bill? Why should we foot the bill anymore? We've done all that, and look at how we've been repaid. There's been stabbings, murders, kids being kidnapped, everything, grooming scams, the whole lot. That's not the way to repay it. Stop it now. Just stop it and focus on your own people.
We were the ones that had like that apartment complex that the Venezuelans like killed everybody in. Did you hear about that? Yeah,
it's stupid. It's absolutely stupid.
Oh, and the Hells Angels went down there to take it back.
Yeah, there's a lot of crime going on between international gangs right now and local red gangs. And
you see,
the civilian life that gets lost. It's never them dumbasses that end up getting dead. It's just some child across the street that owns some shot.
Yeah,
and this is what happens when you have free movement. And the powers that be knew this was going to happen. When you give freedom of movement, you're going to get problems like this.
Right.
And like they sat there and didn't think of that. Yeah, right. Okay, that's exactly what they knew. They knew exactly that was going to happen.
By the way, for anybody watching who's going, what the hell have I just tuned into? The Dark Mirror radio show, for those of you who don't know, we have a topic that we loosely do a show
We
on.
need to start pushing these these camps need to start happening in rich neighborhoods. That's how we should solve this as Americans. At least we should start pushing them into the higher neighborhoods and the gated communities. Let them deal with it.
Like the tax brackets. Stop taking it off the poor and
Yeah.
start taxing the rich guys, including yourself, Keir Starmer. But yeah, this is what we do. We have a topic, and then we'll go off on one about something else. Then we'll come back and talk about a topic, and then we'll go off on one about something else. And that's what the show's known for, and all the humour and everything. So
The funny thing is, though, is they all link with each other because in amongst that conversation about what the Bobberments are doing, we've even come out with the new tech that Toyota's just come out with.
Yeah.
So it's all interlinked.
that's what I was going to say when we were talking about the energy.
I was going to ask about that engine real quick since you brought it up again. I knew Toyota and a bunch of different companies came together to work on some secret project to try to take Tesla down a couple notches. Is that engine you're referring to? Because it's not just Honda, it was like Kawasaki. It was like a bunch of Asian companies came together to try to take Elon down a peg.
Well, there are a lot of people and companies that have invented hydrogen-powered cars, but Toyota have been the ones that have pushed out first in mass production. All the rest of these car companies that are bringing out these hydrogen cars, they're still concept cars for them. But Toyota are actually now ready to start mass producing these hydrogen powered cars. And you've got all these individual people that have managed to get their car to do 120 miles on a pint of water, but the patents all of a sudden disappear or they get brought out and they never get released. Toyota have been the first company that have actually developed their car and got it ready for production.
That's what I was going to talk about. Every single one, because again, you remember we did a show about this. All these patents that these people brought out, and if you look on the Dark Mirror wall, you'll see a video that I put up on them about all these guys who've invented 0-point modules, endless energy, water engines, all this sort of perpetual motion engines, all this stuff, and every single one of them ends up with a case of the deads. You know that, and it's normally the day or 2 days before the patent's about to go be put out there. It's about to be put on the website and go out for everybody. You'll always look into it, and they've been offered to be bought out by the Bobberments. When they said no to the Bobberments, just before they release it all, they mysteriously end up committing suicide or dead.
Wasn't there a guy?
There was one in Denny's, and he was like, "They got me! They got me!" And
they poisoned him in a restaurant. He was having a meeting, didn't he? And he said, "I think I've just been poisoned," and then he dropped dead.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. His last words were, "They poisoned me," and that was the guy who'd invented a water engine, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Something like that. But again, how can the powers that be take out an entire development division of a car manufacturer?
I don't even want to test them because I'm sure they're very capable of doing it.
They're probably thinking up an idea.
He's already gone.
It's like, I mean, Josh is getting into the bike things. I've been a biker since I was 14. I've got a big BMW that I ride and everything, but I would love to have a go on something that's got a hydrogen engine on it and makes the same noise as a speeder bike from Star Wars. Because I would be as happy as a pig in shit. I've got an idea around that,
and I thought about doing that on, or I've thought why they can't do this on these electric motors, on these electric cars. But what you could do is you could attach a rather large speaker somewhere on your bike that plays that sound louder than the engine.
Oh, that'd be wicked. That'd be wicked going down. Well, I've got it very quiet because I want to make it louder.
Have you noticed?
Come try it out with a bunch of bikers. Come try that too.
I mean, these electric vehicles, they just make this sort of low humming noise. I mean, you'd have thought they'd put a system on it. I mean, I've gone to walk across the road once, and I see it every day. Loads of people, they don't bother looking before they cross the road anymore. They just cross.
That's right.
And you're
I got one
gonna
to throw at you guys.
you're not going to know when this electric vehicle is coming the other way until it's hit you. So maybe they should put a speaker on this electric vehicle that makes the sound of an engine, so you can at least hear the bloody thing coming.
Or at least it farts when there's something near it, and you'll hear it really loud.
I mean, when it goes in reverse, it sounds like a bloody sonar from a submarine.
Did you guys know the Tesla truck can't even drive itself yet?
That's right. Yeah, the Tesla truck looks all right, but it's not something.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't think I'd get one. I wanted one when the concept was out there, and then we saw it, and I was like, yeah.
The thing is, they've now invented the hover bike, which is, and I've seen it when they've got, and it's just like being on a motorbike, and I've heard them get up. I've seen them get up and fly it and stuff. And now you've got the hydrogen engine. Can you imagine if they combine the two? And because we're supposed to have anti-grav repulsor engines, and we've got them in some of our ships up in the Space Force. Can you imagine if they minimalize that tech and they started to put it into vehicles that we can use? Because all the Bombermans and the Black Ops and everything are supposed to be, they're about 100 years ahead of us with the tech that they've got, but they suppress it.
300.
Yeah. We don't have any. 300. 300. Right. So they suppress it though, don't they? So we've got nothing that can catch up with them or give them a run for their money. So can you imagine if that technology somehow found its way out and people started bringing this stuff out? I would go out. I'd save up. I'd get somebody to 3D print me a set of speeder bike armor, and then I'd spray it in my own colors. I've got a Mandalorian suit that I've got to do for next year, but I'd get these done, and I'd get on my bike and on a speeder bike. I'd love to. And bloody dogs off.
Get one of the Predator masks too. I've been seeing a lot of them for sale here.
The Mandalorian thing I'm going to do in the Deadpool colors. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do the Mandalorian in Deadpool colors.
No, I've been seeing. We got these motorcycle helmets that actually look like the Predator masks.
I've seen them, yeah, with the yeah. I've seen them. But I think the fact that I ride a big BMW, I'd probably look like a twat if I had a Predator mask on it. I use a Ruroc Atlas 4, a jet black one, the jet black visor. So, hey everybody who's joined us. Tesla can't drive for longer than 2 hours before it shits its pants and makes good old Musk is in the top 10 of the richest bastards in the world. I'd love his money. I'd love a Tesla. I would genuinely like a Tesla. So if you're watching this, sponsor.
I thought that. I thought to myself, do you know what? Teslas, they look pretty good. But then I discovered the fact that they actually cause more pollution than a fossil fuel car does in its lifetime.
Did you see the
I
one?
thought he was supposed to put out a bike. Whatever happened to that?
The Tesla bike?
Yeah.
I don't know. I had no idea.
It didn't get past the planning phase, and it got turned into the Evel Knievel bike instead.
Oh, what?
I had one of them. I absolutely loved that game.
I did. Doing. I don't know if you've ever seen him. It was a toy in the 70s, 80s.
Oh, I know. You wind it up and you can jump, jump over there. My uncle had one.
Yeah. They were brilliant, those things. But
I mean, it's a good idea. All these electric vehicles, like the Tesla and this bloody great Humvee thing that he's developed, that's all great in saying that yes, it's an electric vehicle, so it's good for the environment while it's running.
Yeah.
But the process to making it and the process of disposing it actually causes more damage to the environment than what any fossil fuel car does in its entire lifetime plus. So it defeats the idea of being good for the environment.
Well, like I say, one of them was on fire in a river.
It's in
the river, it's still burning.
But even the London buses that went with electric buses, there's been a whole spate of them buses just going up in flames at random, and there's nothing they can do to put them out. So, you look, oh, right, okay, that's a good idea. It's good for the environment. But the second it goes up in smoke, that environmental impact is catastrophic.
It's annoying. This is stupid, too. I don't know about if Eric's still on here, but the town I'm in, we just started trading up some of our police cars for Tesla cars. And why? Why?
Back on track. If as because we all know that the UK Boberman is up the arse of the American Boberman, and we'll go, oh yeah, anything the American Boberman says. So the American Boberman went from, we don't know if there's people from other planets. Oh, there may be people from other planets. Oh, videos have been leaked. Shit. Yes, there are people from other planets, but we don't know much about them. To, yeah, okay, there are people from other planets. We've been talking to them for a long time. We've been in contact with them. And now they've gone back to, I don't know. Oh, Shaggy? I don't know. And now they've gone back to, they don't know what's happened. And our government's going. So, we all know the real. We all know they're here. The advent of these things and social media.
At least you're doing that. They're always like, you shouldn't be worried about this. It's an election year. Aliens, you got to worry about what's going on here. You got the Democrat or the Republican. Don't worry about them guys in the middle either.
Yeah, don't worry about aliens. You've got to vote in a month's time.
Have you noticed that, like with media and mainstream media and everything like that, you'll suddenly have, when a big thing happens to do with either UFOs or cryptozoology or anything under the paranormal wing, if something big happens, then all of a sudden it goes from this to, we've got this going on. We've got this going on. Look here, us in the Bobermans, we've got this going on. Oh, this president did this. Oh, this prime minister did this. Oh, what a nasty man. Oh, what a silly man.
Yeah.
And then everybody forgets about what the hell was just going on. They're very good at that. Very good at that.
I mean, I saw a TikTok yesterday, and it sort of fell in line with a lot of things that I had been looking at. And one of them was about this so-called armada that has been seen coming into our solar system.
Yeah. The original video, they never said it was an armada. It was something big that was coming. That was all. It
was probably just a group of asteroids. And there was another one where they said it course corrected. Well, they didn't actually mention the fact that it might have bounced off of another asteroid that was out there. And that would have course corrected it. But the biggest one at the moment, as I've seen, was earlier on. I think it was yesterday morning. I saw it. They were actually describing that when otherworldly visitors do come here, they're not going to come over land masses. They're going to be over the sea. They're going to be on the oceans.
Right. Yeah. Immediately when I heard Armada,
and they're going to sit there. They're going to sit there for a while to allow people to come and see them, to come and view them.
Yeah. So
it would make worldwide news. People will come to the shorelines to see these spacecraft. And then after a number of days or a couple of weeks, they are then going to start dialogue with the people of Earth.
I don't think they're going to come and be like Battlefield LA.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the biggest issue, isn't it? Is where Hollywood and the TV, the immediate thing is the scare factor. Aliens are going to come to Earth. They're going to reap our benefits and take our water and our air and us as food and all that rubbish. When they could actually be coming here and saying, look, hey, with this little tablet, you can get rid of every known disease on this planet.
But as long as they keep doing that, they can tax us. And they know that. They're like, we have this threat. This is coming. This is why we're 300 years of technology is suppressed from you. Because you guys are idiots and we know what's going on. This is why this is like this. This is why they're going to always play it as a threat. Always. Until the government completely falls. And what I was going to say about the video before we go on, I have this feeling maybe there was something. What if they saw something of ours? They would just completely erase the video and be like, yeah, it was nothing. It was nothing. Like what if they picked up something of Space Forces?
I do think that a lot of things we see are not just from out there. I think they're from here as well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, again, if you look, what we've got the James Webb Telescope, so we can look out into space.
That's right.
Who's to say that another being on another planet that's 5,000 years ahead of ours, they're not just making a telescope that can see out into space. They could probably got the technology to be able to see onto another planet. So they'd be able to see what our technology is. They could see us walking about in our everyday lives and know exactly what we're doing. And they're probably sitting there going, do you know what? We've just seen this guy kill this guy for no apparent reason. Do we really want to go there?
Well, the thing is them turning around and saying, again, another drip feed, because they've been drip feeding us for the last few years. We think the James Webb Telescope has found
City lights.
city lights. And it's like, no shit, Sherlock. They've seen them several times before. They've been seen on the moon. They've been seen in craters where light's not been able to get in, and it's very obvious it's official light.
Well, we said that a couple of years ago as well, didn't we?
Yeah. They found them everywhere. They found them everywhere. Look at when we were looking at again. I'll bring it up again. When we were looking at the moon on that Chinese website, and we were looking. Wayne and I were both, and we were live on air talking about it, but we didn't have the things to be able to add it onto our screen, so we couldn't see. And we were talking about this Chinese website where you could see the dark side of the moon. It was real pictures. It wasn't edited. Hello, Leela. And it wasn't edited. Get your butt out of the way. It wasn't edited or anything. And there was remains of buildings, and in it said that NASA and various other agencies had bombed the buildings to try and make it look just like rubble, because they didn't want anybody to know that there's actually people up there, or there have been people up there over the millennia, and that there's remains of bases. And then this site that we were looking at, we said we'll do a special show tomorrow, the next day, and we'll show you all this stuff that we were looking at, and it was fascinating, wasn't it? All this stuff that was up there. We did the live, went to go and get all this stuff up, whole lot of gone. Any trace of it had gone off all the internet. Everything, all gone. And we were like,
the website itself didn't even exist, even though we had the domain address. Even the website had gone.
Whole lot had completely vanished.
It's so easy for them to do that so quickly on any platform. Well, I mean, you got to throw out the possibility maybe there was something seen by the telescope and it got redacted, as I like to put it.
It's Definitely. Like I was just reading the comments. Alien Nation, absolutely awesome series. I watched that and all the films. I think they're going to come here. I don't know if they're going to be like the saviors of mankind or whatever, but I think they're going to certainly be able to help us. Because I think attacking us is not going to do a lot for them, really. Because
I mean, me and Wayne were talking about this the other time too. Do you feel like being the hero to the squirrels outside, or like the ants? Do you feel like being their savior? No. Ultimately, do you give a shit about the deer that passes your car? Do you? Oh, cool, look at it. But other than that,
yeah, exactly. They're going to come.
Care about its social structure, or what it's going to do after this, or what its spiritual beliefs are.
I mean, there's nothing to state that they could come here looking for resources.
I was about to say there might be a resource trade, knowing our bobbins.
Yeah, but it might be that they don't want to deal. Maybe they just want to take. You don't know. We don't know. We're never going to know until we actually meet them. So until they actually come here and go, right, you know what, guys, we need salt water, and your planet is absolutely covered in it. We're having it. Well, they know full well that if they take all our water, we're all going to die. Yeah. So we're going to put up a fight for it. But if they need it, they're going to take it, then they'll fight us for it.
That was a really good film, Battle for LA. You love that. I don't think it's all... I don't reckon they're all here to kill us and try and take it. I reckon... I just
think other beings...
I think they would have done it a long time ago.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was about to say. If they wanted to take us, they could have done it before we had more advanced weapons and ships that we got now.
I honestly think our advanced shit comes from them to an extent. There probably is a trade. I mean,
they got their jet propulsion systems from elsewhere, and in their documents it says they were helped from people outside of this world. Look at the Glocker. Look at their UFOs. Where'd the technology? Where'd the technology come from?
I mean, Catherine's comment there. How much is medicine going for right now? I mean, that is why they have tried silencing people on TikTok for coming out with herbal remedies that don't cost nothing because they're right on your front doorstep. You know, the powers that be know full well
I'm
that
wrong,
if
you
you
deaf
can cure a heart complaint
Okay.
from dandelions, which grow freely,
Yeah.
you know, you're gonna stop a lot of people having heart problems, which is going to cost the pharmaceutical companies a lot of money, and that is why we passed a law. Our government passed a law that you're not allowed to pick wildflowers
That's right.
because
It's
they
like-
know. Yeah, you're not.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
against the law to pick wildflowers over here because they know that those wildflowers, such as dandelions and nettles, are classed as wildflowers. You
Yeah.
pick them to cure whatever ailment you've got. You're breaking the law.
Which brings
What
us
if you-
to hedge witches.
What do they grow in your garden?
Well, if they grow in your garden, they're not wildflowers.
Hedge
Right.
witches.
Okay. So this is a little loophole. Good.
Hedge witches were white witches. They were persecuted beyond belief, and they were wiped out in the assizes. And this was purely because of stupidity and bigotry and lies and people greasing people's hands. Cunning men, cunning women,
Yes. My
hedge
dog.
witches, white witches are all
Well, then
people who
freaking
know
out.
how to use herbs and stuff, and were curing people and going around helping people. It's an old medicine. It wasn't witchcraft. It was a bit of knowledge. But look what happens when you do anything that the government can't make money on. You get wiped out. So, and look at all this stuff, this tech that's turning up around the world. Depleted uranium, 1.2 million years old, found in Russia. Just down the road from it, they found a pool with what looks like pipes that go into it that they think was the remains of a cooling tank for radium rods from a nuclear reactor. 1.5 million years old. Depleted uranium doesn't happen in nature. You can only have it, it's only done by a man-made process. Pickaxes, that were 1 million years old. Watches. I'm not too sure about that little thing that was found that looks like a mobile phone. I personally think that was bollocks. But there's other things. There's these spheres with the lines on them and things inside that you can't get in. Again, they're like 3 million years old and stuff like that. There's all this evidence that points to precursors and people being here before us and this, that, and the other. And you got all these stupid idiots who go, no. And then you got the creationists who go, we're only a few thousand years old. And I... You know, again with the gods, I think that the gods were real, but I think there's a lot more plausible explanation, and that they were advanced beings from elsewhere. We couldn't fathom out their tech or anything, so it's like, okay, we're your gods. All right, mate, we can go with that. So again, it's been proved we had our DNA altered a few thousand years ago, and we went from shitting in our own hands and clapping to, I say, old beam, look at my farm. You know, so it's all there. All the evidence is there. Everything's right in front of us. You just got to have a bit savvy and put it all together and go, yeah, there were people before us. People are coming back. People who were here before us. The pyramids and the Sphinx, it's been proved, were underwater. Why would you have the Sphinx underwater? That's why all the capping's gone, apart from on this level. New evidence is saying that the capping's gone from underneath this level because that's where the water was. Now, there's channels that go in the Great Pyramid and everything, and in all the other pyramids. They reckon they were never used as... places for the final resting places for the pharaohs. There was some sort of energy generator. Why would it be underwater? Strange that.
I also find something interesting that the Great Pyramid in Giza is the only 8-sided pyramid.
That's right. Yeah.
Right.
And we're the only people who can say Giza like that. Nobody else can say Giza or Giza, Pyramid of Giza. Like we can cake. But if you're wondering what the cake thing was, when we were up at Wayne's for his birthday, my other half, she's got a very broad Yorkshire accent, so she says cake, and I'm originally from London in that area, so I'll say cake, and then Wayne is from that area, and they're all going cake, and then when we said to Wayne, you know, we all say cake, and he went and listened to us all, and he go, do you know what? I never noticed that. You're right. And there's my missus going cake.
Good old cake. Do you want some birthday cake?
Yeah, cake. But I'm so sorry, Rachel. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I was trouble after the show.
She'll kill me later. What you talk about? Some do still shit and clap on clap in their hands, shit in their hands and clap. Yeah, they're called what do you call them? Members of Parliament, or senators over there. But yeah, we have so much. Yeah, we got so much evidence that points to people before us, precursors, stuff being here, tech we couldn't even fathom being here. And yeah, you're right about the Pharos light bulbs and everything. And when you look on the cartouches, you can see helicopters and guns and all this kind of crap. And if you actually work them out properly, you'll understand a lot more. And people are starting to do it now. They're looking at them going, oh, actually, and it's coming to fruition. So, and the time is past. We're going to have to bugger off because there'll be somebody else jumping onto here.
Well,
So,
before we go, there has been some latest news about the SR-71's offspring,
oh, the new Blackbird.
the son of Blackbird.
Yeah.
Now they reckon that its first flight is going to take place next year.
Oh wow!
The
I mean,
SR-72 The SR-72 is near enough ready for its first test flight next year. But what I'm a bit more alarmed with is the fact that it is supposed to be a hypersonic strategic reconnaissance UAV. Okay. Now, saying about contradiction, okay, it's supposed to be a reconnaissance UAV. However, gossip on the grapevine is that it is going to be fitted with hypersonic missiles. What's a reconnaissance aircraft doing with hypersonic missiles?
Yeah, yeah. And one that's capable of going up into the stratosphere.
Spreading freedom.
And it can travel Mach 6, which is 4,000 miles per hour. Ouch.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Really, really fast.
Yeah, I think we'll carry on with our usual irreverent nonsense next week, and we shall talk about all the stuff that really grinds our gears and stuff like that. And we'll bring out more facts and figures and aliens than you can shake a stick at. So, and as per usual, we are joined by our friend from across the pond there, Mr. Josh, who wants to say some stuff, and Mr. Wayne. Plug your shows, both of you. Now, take it in turns.
Got no shows.
Oh, plug your show.
Got a week off.
Oh, right on. There's one I will be on tomorrow. It's the Simply Spooky Network. I don't know the name of the show offhand, but I know it's about Irish folklore. And I have an awesome interview on Friday with Laura Eisenhower. If anybody isn't familiar with her, she is the granddaughter of the former president Eisenhower. Yeah, we're gonna jump on aliens.
Agreement with the aliens about having abductees.
Yeah, and she is an abductee
That's an
herself.
awesome one.
So
Be sure to put it on the Dark Mirror's wall. All right.
we'll do.
Right. Well, thank you for joining us, everybody in the chat room who's out there in Facebook land, YouTube land, Twitter land, and everybody else who's been watching this by the end of the week. Thank you for joining us. Oh yeah, and Instagram because it's out there on there as well.
Don't forget our friends up there as well, because they might be watching.
You guys in your ships that are watching this and going, do you know what? That bugger's onto something. We'll quite happily be your ambassadors. We'll be ambassadors for Earth. Oh yeah, and
Come and have a lovely cup of tea.
You'll have a lovely cup of tea. Before I forget, thank you for the well wishes that I was getting in Facebook Messenger. I had my first cancer check for a year. I've had cancer 11 times, 11 medical procedures and operations, and 2 lots of chemo, and it was my first clear for God knows how long. So I had a clear, and thank you very much for all the messages from everybody. So this week's been quite cool. And I would also like to say, on a personal note, thank you to my other half, Rachel, and my girls. Rachel's had my back this whole way through, refused to let me go to the hospital on my own, came with me and bought me a cup of tea and a bacon sarnie afterwards, and so she's been an absolute rock. So, and thank you to my daughters as well, because they wanted the news and they were like, yeah, told you were going to be clear. So, brilliant stuff. Anyway, I'm whittering on too much. I shall see you guys later. Thank you for watching. We'll be back next week. Yes, before we go, what? Yes? Small gentleman down there, what do you want?
I need peace. Later.
Right, see you later, guys. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye.